This episode of On the Line is presented to you by Living.Fit, your one stop for all your fitness needs. Make sure you go download the app Living.Fit today. Now here's the show. Welcome to On the Line. Today is Friday, June 24th. We got a fun show for you guys. We got comedian Lenny Clarke on the show. We did that about a year ago. I'll explain after the interview why we're posting it after a year. Then we got our medals for the week. We got our UFC Vegas 57 preview in 2 minutes. I got a lot of fun stuff for you guys, but if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, listen on Apple, Spotify, Deezer, Stitcher, any podcasting platform, leave a follow, leave a review like the cool kids. Without further ado, let's go on into Lenny Clarke. Today, I am joined by a very special guest. He is the infamous Boston comedian, Lenny Clarke. Lenny, how we doing, man?
Great, Tommy. How you doing? I'm living fit, brother. I'm all right.
Love the brand play. So yeah. I don't know if you. So as for those who aren't aware, you used to be a thick boy. I used to be a thick boy, but not as thick as you. Want to kind of talk through like your how thick you used to be?
Okay, I was 388 pounds with a size 56-inch waist. And I was so fat, my wife told me I could start having sex with other people. Since then, I've lost 200 pounds. I went from 388 down to 188. And I did it without gastric bypass. I did it through working out, eating right, and, just doing the right things. The stuff we all know what to do, but we just don't seem to bother.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like a lot of people will go straight into the workouts and not worry about the food. The food's the big thing. And so since you lost that much weight,
God.
did you have to get like surgery, like on terms of like
Yeah.
to like remove like fat from your body?
Yes, I did. In full transparency, I went and had a lipodectomy or something. It's like a tummy tuck. They cut off about 6 or 7 pounds of skin because while I was working out, I got in good shape and everything. I got everything tightened up, except for my stomach. My stomach it's like an elephant, all this excess skin. And I do a lot of charity work, and I was doing something for the Mass General, and the head of surgery over there, Jay Austin, he said to me, "Lenny, you're always doing such good stuff for us. We'd like to do something for you." I said, "Well, my stomach," and he says, "Come back." So I went backstage and showed him my stomach. He goes, "That's fat." I go, "Yeah, I know." He goes, "I can cut that off in a day." I said, "Really?" He says, "Yeah, it'll be the most painful thing you've ever been through, but I can have it done in a day." And I went, "Well, let's do it." So they cut me in half like a circus trick, and they sewed me back up, and I have just a little. I show you the scar. Yeah, just a baby scar.
Go ahead, show it. Let's see it.
That's
not too bad. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Then you barely even notice that too.
Right?
Look at those abs.
Yeah, man. Hard. For a 67-year-old guy, and I got to tell you, Tommy, these aren't as popping as they usually are because I've been training for this 75-mile bike ride on July 10th. It's for MS, and 2 of my sisters have MS, and my younger brother Mike is like Lance Armstrong. He rides every year, and one year I sent them all off, and I got so emotionally involved in it. I said, "I'll ride with you someday," and they said, they called me 9 months later. They said, "Are you ready to ride?" I said, "What?" They said, "You told us you ride. We have it on tape." I went, "Holy shit." So then I started training riding a bicycle, and it was taking me 6 hours a day to train to do 150 miles in 2 days. So it was like unbelievably hard. And now, since COVID, they said, "Well, we're only going to be able to do 75 miles this year." And my brother Mike goes, "Oh, Lenny will do it. That'd be like a walk in the park." It's kicking my ass. So I've been concentrating on riding. Like last night, you don't always have the time to go for a 2-hour ride. Last night I went out at dark, and I have these great lights, and I did 23 miles last night. But I did 50 miles about a week ago, and for my own personal thing, I need to get 60 in maybe next week. One day ride 60, and then I'll know I can do the 75. Because a lot of people have donated money to me.
Such a time commitment.
It is a time. Yeah, yeah, it really is. I mean, and it's one of those things where, you know, so many people have donated money to help raise money to stop MS. I can't, I can't screw up. I can't say, oh, I didn't make it. You know, I got to do it. I got to do it. I got to succeed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
So, do you think you've
when I'm
gotten
not
less
doing,
funny by not being fat anymore, though?
oh no, I'm funnier than ever because uh, I had a stroke a year ago, uh,
Oh
2 days
yeah.
ago. Yeah, yeah, I had a stroke where I was airlifted off of Martha's Vineyard, where I live, to the Mass General, and they worked on me for like 6 days, and then I had a carotid artery done, and I have no paralyzation or no slurred speech other than my normal slurred speech, but I have memory lapses sometimes. I can't remember stuff. So, but to get back to what I was saying, when I'm not riding, I'm usually in the gym. I hit the gym or I work out with my own equipment that I got from Living.Fit and the Kettlebell Kings. And that really has helped me uh, do my abs and do everything else. You know, it's just, it's been a real godsend.
Oh hell yeah! Love to hear it. Love the brand play. Love the brand play.
Well,
And so,
well,
before
I
you
tell
started
you what,
pursuing, tell me what.
go ahead. I didn't hear that.
No, no, no. You know, you go ahead. You want to? You go ahead.
Oh, what you said about something about pursuing, and that's all I heard because we went.
No, I just said I love the brand play.
Oh, good. Well, me too. Well, you know what? I was so pleased with the stuff that Living Fit and Kettlebell King sent me that it really upped my game because, like you say, you know, the toughest part of going to the gym is going to the gym. Once you get there, you're all right. You're okay. But if you've got, you know, dumbbells around or kettlebell or the 10-pound jump rope, which I'm not good at yet, but I will get good at. And then the bands, and you know, it's so funny because I never used bands. And recently I saw Sylvester Stallone discussing how he stays as jacked as he is. And Tom Brady, both of them are really into the bands. And when you get to my age, you know, I'm 67, you get hurt a lot quicker if you overdo the weights. And Sylvester Stallone said, look, I'm not saying anything bad about weights, but for me right now, the bands are just as good and they keep them just as ripped up and there's less chance of getting hurt.
No, neither do I. I've actually started using bands too. I've gotten it's just kind of something. It was just something natural. Someone would always take my weights. I'd get pissed. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna use bands. Like it works just as well. I get good stretch.
Yeah.
I like it. Feels good.
Right. And another thing, when you go to the gym, you always, you know, like you said, you always can't get on a machine or you can't get on the bench. You know, it's and when you have your own equipment, it also allows you to work out at different times. Like say you get up at 3 in the morning, you can't sleep. You say, hey man, there's the bands, use the bands or the sliders. You know, the sliders really help work with the abs. And it's just as long as you're doing something, if you do a little something every day, if you're headed in the right direction, because anyone will tell you that when you work out, if you take a few days off, coming back, it's always the longer you take off, the harder it is to come back. So by continually
Mhm.
to do something, you know, it's easier.
So tell me, you used to be a fat guy. Like I used to be a fat guy. Do you ever feel like when you miss a day at the gym, like you're fat again? Because I always have that
Yes,
feeling. If I miss the gym
yes.
for a couple days, I
Oh,
always feel like, oh my god, I'm fat again.
yeah. I mean, like I was at my doctor's office yesterday, and I've got I've got at least 3 more months to live. I'm real excited. He said, "Lenny, you're in great shape." I can't believe. He said, let's take your shirt off and do your blood pressure. And so I took my shirt off. He goes, holy shit! This is coming from a doctor, a young doctor. He goes, you have a six pack, and I go, yes, I do. And he says, but you're 67. I said, I know, but I work at it. And just a little something. And like you also said, Tommy, it's what you eat. You know, I don't know how big did you
Mhm.
get? What did you top out at?
Uh, I think I never actually got at the top because I had surgery on my right ankle, and at that right
Uh-huh.
before I had it, I was like 244, and then that entire week all I ate was like pretzel M&Ms. So I'm pretty
Yep.
sure I was somewhere around 255, somewhere around there after
Okay.
that.
And now you weigh what?
Oh god, not good. I'm like 200, but at
That's
one point
hey.
I was down to like 170. A lot of it's muscle. I don't have a six
Mhm.
pack like you, but I mean a lot of it is just muscle. So I'm not too
Yeah.
disappointed with the 200.
Yeah. No, don't. I mean, but yeah, it's exactly right. Like, if I miss the gym for a couple of days, I go, oh, I'm such a fat bastard. And I go, I find a pair of the tightest pants I have. I put them on, and they still fit. I go, okay, I'm okay, but there's not a lot of room. I got to work on the room in the pants.
Yes, yeah. No, it goes from like being like a really like comfortable fit to like, oh my god, I gotta
Yes,
suck my gut in to
yeah.
get this thing
Well, Tommy, when
on.
I was a fat guy, I had 3 sets of clothes in the closet: fat, more fat, and oh, you big fat piece of shit. It was that bad, you know. And so what I started doing when I started coming down this last time, which has been about 10 years now, I started giving my clothes away. If I have something that's too big, I'll give it to someone. I'll give it to a friend. I go, you want these? And they go, those are nice pants. I go, yeah. He said, if you don't like them, wash your car with them, throw them away. I don't care. But and matter of fact, today I'm going to take a lot of clothes. I'm cleaning my apartment and I'm going to donate them, you know, and because I don't want to wear them. I don't want to go back that way. I don't want to ever start going backwards because I was up and down, up and down, up and down. And then 10 years ago, I was shooting the television show Rescue Me. And Dennis Leary said to me, how much weight could you lose? I said, what do you mean? He says, in the time it takes us to come back to shoot at first season to the second season. I said, 100 pounds. So he says, okay, we'll do it because I'm writing this. I'm writing a whole thing about you losing this weight. So he called me the first week. How's it going? I go, oh, great. I lost 10 pounds. He called me 2 weeks later. Oh, yeah, I'm down 20 pounds. And I hadn't lost a pound. I was lying to him, right? So then he says, hey, Lenny, he says, I don't want you screwing this up. This whole season's written around your weight loss. I went, oh, shit. So now that's when I uh, I went to Weight Watchers, learned how to control food grouping and stuff, and uh, and then actually working out. And when I say working out, I'm telling people you can do anything. You can walk. The running thing. I used to run, but now being fat for so long, I was fat for 7, 8 years. I wore sweatpants. I couldn't fit into regular pants. Uh, Granted, sometimes they were fancy sweatpants because it is show business. But I mean, they're sweatpants. You can't do that. So I started walking because the running from being so fat, my knees really hurt my knees, and
Yes,
I
yeah,
can't do it
yeah.
anymore. And Tiger Woods said 6 months ago, one of the biggest regrets he has in life is running. And I said, where? From the Waffle House? He said, no, no, no. From running in general, because it hurt his back. It attributed to a lot of the problems that he's going through now.
There's so many things you can do to replace it now, and it's so many more things that are kind of like I don't know. I just do stationary bikes. That's all I've been doing. I just throw something up on the TV, and like it's just not bad on my joints. It doesn't fuck me
Yeah,
up.
right.
Like if I
Well,
run,
yeah,
I'm just gonna yeah. Like I
I
don't
get
get
it.
shin splints anymore. Oh, those are the
Oh
fucking
God.
worst.
They hurt. And then uh, a lot of times you'd have plantar fasciitis. I don't know if I said it right, but sometimes at it, and you got to
Drilled
put your
it. You
foot up.
drilled it.
Yeah, you got to put a foot on a bottle of ice, just to hold that, or a golf ball. I mean, really painful. And you can get just as much out of a great, pretty fast walk. I'm not talking about Olympic fast walking, but I'm talking about, hey man, we got 50 blocks to go. Let's go. Let's hit it, and make games out. See how much time it
Yeah.
takes, see how many steps you get. You know, like when I got a watch that did my steps, I topped out. The most I've ever done is 26,000 steps when I was in Vegas, and I'd like walk in the entire strip almost back and forth. It was
Oh
crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in 100
I
degree
think in
heat.
college I topped off at 30, something like that. I was somewhere around 30 to
30,000.
35, maybe 40. Yeah, I was close. It's because I was in college. It was like I don't know if you ever heard of the Little 500 at IU.
No.
maybe. No, it's just huge bike race, and it's just a huge party weekend. So it was
Wait a
just
minute.
me
Yes, I did.
walking
Yes, I
all
did.
over the place.
I have heard it because the movie Breaking Away, remember that movie
Yeah,
about
yep.
Dennis Quaid? Yeah. So that was, yeah. Okay, it's all coming back. Like I said, the stroke, I forget something. Yes,
You're all
but
good.
so, so 30,000, 40. Wow. I'd like to hit 30,000 one of these days, but that's like 5 hours, 5, 6 hours of walking. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I,
Or just standing around, just kind of going back and forth. There's just a lot of it adds up
yeah.
in really weird ways.
It really does. Well, that's like with the food. Um, you know, sometimes like right now, like I uh, I had I had some foolish stuff today, but I'm going for a long bike ride this afternoon. And I feel well
There you go.
since I'm burning so much energy on the bike, I'm storing up. Let's go because I mean you got to have the strength to put in the miles.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So here's something we talked about yesterday too is you went sober, what was it, 25 years ago? Now at this point, 25?
Yes, yeah. A little
25?
deal I worked out with the government. Yeah, I don't drink and they don't lock me up. So for the last
It's a
24 and
great
a half
deal.
years, I've been sober, clean and sober. I mean, there are booze drinks now that I've never heard of. And there are also drinks that I've never tasted. Like flavored beers and flavored
You're not
vodkas
missing
and
out
all.
on too much. You're not missing out
Yeah,
on too
yeah.
much.
Well, the thing is, I was a very naughty boy because the heavy drinking led to heavy drug abuse, and uh, I was a happy drunk, and and people enjoyed me being around until I went over the edge. They go, Lenny, come on, we got nice people here. Yeah, it's better for all of us that I'm clean and sober.
What was your trip like to Colombia? And you got like a tour de Coke.
Oh my God, I was I get it to blow, and I I liked it so much. I went to Colombia to see where they made it, and I got there, and I stayed at a 5-star hotel. And the first day, I said, "Senor Lenny needs some cocoa," and they said, "Oh, you want cocoa to drink? No, no, no. I want cocaine. Don't bullshit me. You know what I mean?" And they said, "Well, most of the cocaine we have in this country is sent to America." And I go, "Hey, I just didn't fly from America to hear your bullshit story. Let's go. Senor Lenny needs some blow." So I mean, they ended up giving me like an ounce for like $200. I mean, it was pure. It was unbelievable. I couldn't even finish it. I was only there for a week, but yeah, I got to see how they made, where they made it. And, it was like a National Geographic tour with Lenny, but I didn't film it. Yeah, I didn't want to get filmed.
Yeah, I don't think you want to film that. I don't think you want to even release that either.
Yeah, yeah, you can edit it
I won't
out
be
if
too
you
happy
like.
about that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. Did you notice your stand-up change at all after you went sober?
Yes, I did. Well, Tommy, when I got sober, uh, I took I took a couple weeks off, which I never did because the first 10 years of stand up comedy, I worked every night because I was afraid if I didn't, I wouldn't be funny the next day. I would magically lose it. And so I jump on stages
Yeah.
anyway. I work, and back in the day, I was doing seven full sets a night at like 3 or 4 different clubs. I'm making a circle of the clubs. Um, yeah,
Mhm.
and then I took some time off, and it dawned on me as I was driving to my first sober gig that I had stage fright, and I went, "Oh no!"
Oh
I go,
man.
"I don't know if I can do this." So I called my brother. I was on Martha's Vineyard where I live, and I was going to the Hot Tin Roof, which used to be owned by Carly Simon, and I'm about a mile away, and I go, "Mike, I don't know if I can do this." He goes, "What do you mean? It's sold out. It's like 700 people here." And I go, I'm afraid. He goes, "All right, here's what we'll do. When you pull into the parking lot, tell me I'm in the parking lot and we'll start announcing you. And then when you walk in the building, just walk up on stage and just go. So I pulled up. I left the car running. I was so nervous. Went in the back door. And ladies and gentlemen, you're all here to see him tonight. You know who he is. You know him. You love him. Lenny Clarke. And I walked out, and there was big applause. I told my first joke. I got a laugh, and I go, okay, I can do it. But it was really scary. And even after that, I was scared for a few months. Every time I went up, I still get nervous every time I perform, but it's only because I want to do a great job. I got to be honest. Stand-up comedy for me has changed dramatically over the last 10 years between the political correctness and now the cancel culture and the woke, all this silly bullshit. Look, there's not a malicious bone in my body. I go on stage to make people laugh, not to make them be offended. I'm offended. I had this woman say to me, I'm offended. I go, really? I'm offended that you're offended. What are you going to do now, bitch? It's ridiculous. It's jokes. If you don't want to laugh, don't go to the comedy club or don't go to the performance. It's change the channel. Everyone is out to get everyone now. And the funny part is, they're starting to eat their own. All these wonderful people who are just above us all, the elites, they're turning on each other now. You said something in a tweet 13 years ago. Look at this. You're a racist. And I love when people try to brand me a racist. Two of my sisters I love very much married black guys, and I have 5 black nephews and nieces, and I'm Uncle Lenny. And I love them. I love these kids. I love them like they're on my own. Because there's my family. But yeah, racists, get a grip. I don't give. Listen, race, religion, politics, whatever you want. I got my own problems. Okay, I'm married. All right, so I'm dealing with that every day. I don't do whatever you want. How do you feel about gay marriage? Great. Why should we be the only ones who suffer? I don't care. People can do whatever. LGBTQ, DXYZ. I don't know what it's all about. I'm happy for you. Do whatever you want. Leave me. Just give me some space.
Cancel culture is eventually going to cancel itself. It's already starting. It's already going to start where they're canceling each other out. It's kind of funny how it works.
I certainly hope so.
And so you're a stand-up comedian, and I feel like the go-to thing when people see you out in public is, hey, you're a comedian. You're pretty funny. Tell me a joke. What do you say to those people?
A good friend of mine from Chicago, Paul Kelly, a great comedian. I haven't heard from Paul probably in 30 years, but he came to Boston, lived at my house, and worked with us for a week. And we went into a bar one night, and someone said, "Hey, you're a comedian. Say something funny." And he turned to the guy and says, "You're a good-looking guy." And I laughed so hard. So now I to paraphrase the great Paul Kelly. Whatever says, "Hey man, say something funny." I say, "You're a good-looking guy," and they always go, "Oh, you son of a bitch!" I did it to a cop once who had pulled me over, and he says, "You're a comedian. Say something funny." I said, "You're a good-looking guy." He goes, "Hey man, that ain't funny." I go, "Okay, let me try this one." So I have little jokes that I tell, like cops when I'm getting pulled over. Although I am a friend of law enforcement, and I'm older now. I just say, "I'm sorry, I'm elderly." But it's wild. I'm in the gym, right? And I'm working, say like I'm doing abs, and they're really popping. And I'm looking in the mirror to check out the abs. And these kids will say, "Hey, mister, how old are you?" I go, 83. I'm 83 years.
Start telling them you're 90. They'll just be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to move to 90. I hope I look as good as you when I'm 90, mister. These kids are like 20 years old. I got shit in my freeze rolling in them. It's just, look, if you don't take care of your body, where are you gonna live? And a lot of people treat their body like a temple. I treated like my body like an amusement park. I did a lot of damage, and now I'm trying to keep it all together. And I got to tell you, thanks to the Kettlebell Kings and Living.Fit, I mean, I am Living.Fit. I am.
Brand play.
Yeah.
Well, so then you kind of talked about how you deal with those people. How do you deal with hecklers?
Oh God, Jesus Christ! When I first started, I was working a lot of bar rooms, and drunk guys, they would say I was so fast, and I was so
Even as a chubby
overpowering.
boy?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, especially as a chubby guy, because hey, fatso, you know what I mean? You're right away. Oh God, I mean, and that people would come up to me, nice people would come up to me. Well, they weren't that nice, but they'd come up and rub my belly and go, "Ooh, it's pretty big. When's it due?" And now a lot of those people are fat, and I go up to them and I rub their bellies in front of them. I go, "Hey, everybody, look at the belly on this guy!" Hey! And I whisper in his ear, "Remember you said that to me, bitch." It's I try to be kind to overweight people. I don't like to use the word fat or fatso or you know. I try, but if someone crosses me, here's the deal: you treat me good, I'll treat you better. You fuck with me, I'll follow you home and burn your house to the ground. It's just I don't like hecklers. People say, "Oh, you're so good with hecklers." You know why? Because in the beginning, I was so nervous about doing stand-up comedy. No one in my family was in show business. And I was so nervous about doing stand-up comedy that if someone said something to me right away, no filter, no nothing, wham, I just slap them down. You know what I mean? And I got really good with hecklers. I got really clever with hecklers. I'd rather never see a heckler ever again. I really mean that because it breaks when I do my act, I have a rough idea of what I could use for total success, but I like to create and I like to work off the energy of that particular audience. And if they're giving me all that good energy, we're going on a ride that they won't believe because I open up more about myself. And the one thing, I don't think I'm funnier than any comedian there is. I really don't. I know I'm different and I'm insane. That way I have papers that say that. But the fact that I do a different show every time, and it's not because I'm an artist or a genius. I just can't remember, especially now after the stroke. It's hard to remember. The doctor said to me, "Well, you may," and I was taking, pardon me, I was taking Ambien or sleeping pills because I can't sleep. Once you hit a certain age, I used to sleep. Well, I used to pass out and be out for like 10, 12 hours, and people, "Wow, we got to do a show." I go, "Oh God." Now it's very, very hard for me to sleep, so I have prescribed medicine. Would it be Ambien or something else? And the doctor said, "Well, you may have some short-term memory loss." I said, "Short-term? Isn't that the one you need?" Because the long term, this shit I'm still trying to forget. I don't want to know.
All right. So this is a sports show. So this is the last question I got for it before I let you
You
go.
get it.
Throughout
Yeah.
your life, I mean, you've lived through it all. You lived through the entire 100-year drought for the Red Sox. What's your top
Yes.
3 moments of Boston sports history?
Oh, the World Series win in St. Louis that I was at Game 4.
No
I
big
couldn't believe it.
deal.
Yeah.
No big
Uh,
deal.
the the Patriots first. Oh no, the Tom Brady comeback against Atlanta, which I was at, sitting next to Bill Belichick's football buddies that he went to college with. Uh, the NBA championship against the Lakers in the Boston Garden, the last one they won. And any game that Bobby Orr ever played. That's my top 3. Now,
All right.
had the, I've never had the privilege or the pleasure to attend a Stanley Cup win. I've been to Game 6, and then when they went to Vancouver and beat those scum, I couldn't go on that trip because I got invited, but I couldn't go because I had gigs. I never break a gig. So I don't know in my lifetime if I'll ever get to see a Stanley Cup, Game 7 or a Stanley Cup win. But that would give me the grand slam of sports championships in Boston. Not bad.
All right. That was fun with our man Lenny. Just quick little glimpse into what it's like to being a podcaster. So we filmed that a year ago, and we hold on into those kinds of things from we get in these kind of situations. So long story short, we had like 3 interviews lined up this week. So that's the reason we posted Cody or Christos Yagos and Cody Law together. It's because we thought we were going to have a couple different guys today. Thought 1, maybe 2. We always figured there's going to be a pull out. All 3 of them pulled out. So we got kind of toasted there. Nothing you can really do about it. But Lenny was a fun guy to talk to, and it was a fun interview. I wish I could have posted it earlier, to be honest, but it is what it is. Without further ado, let's go on into our UFC Vegas 57 2-minute drill, the final bell. Let's go on and do this thing. Kick the music. We kick off the card with a big boom as Brian Kelleher takes Mario Batista to his boom room as the business will be booming for the big boom Kelleher knockout. Try to say that 3 times. Big boom, big boom, big boom. Did someone say Demopolis for Frey actually kicks off the card? Why don't you Demopolis these nuts for JP buys as he looks to rebound from watching Roman Delize take everything he's worked for as he fights Cody Durden Mokaev. Short Kings will deliver. A short bite before we head downtown to TJ Brown, who's going to be taking his kid Shylon to the candy store to grab some Pez to refill their dispenser as TJ will jab his head back like the Pez dispenser, leading to a mid to late finish. Hide your wife, hide your girlfriend, and don't be surprised if Bulber brings all the girls to the yard as he's the hottest guy in the UFC roster. No homo. Carlos Ulberg looks to continue his rise of the light heavyweight rankings against Tafana and Nchukwi. Nchukwi may get lost in those eyes, and he may also find himself lost in the canvas as Ulberg lurks for his first finish in the UFC. Call the medics, but not for me, as Rodolfo Vieira, the gas-out king, squares off against the action man, Chris Curtis. If Rodolfo can't get it done the first time it hits the mat, then the action man does what the action man can, and that's on the action man knockout for all the fans.
After the U.S. warned all day of a full-scale Russian invasion of
America,
that it was imminent, Vladimir Putin has just addressed the Russian people moments ago, announcing what Putin called the start of a military special operation, in his words, to demilitarize
America. Never bet against Senor Magomedov. Now we move on to Christos Can't Say No Yagos as he squares up with Thiago Moises. Christos finally breaks the seal and beats a perennial ranked opponent as he is finally putting all the pieces together as a newly found Florida man. Not Cyril Gane, but the other French heavyweight, Alain Badeau, takes on Josh Parisian, what some say are the most questionable fight lines in the first half of the fight year. War Badeau, oui, oui. We may have had the hottest guy in the card, but the hottest prospect you may not know about. Shavkat Rakhmonov takes the climb up Mount Magny as he looks to push through the welterweight gate. Prepare the goats because Shavkat is coming home on the other side of the gate, a contender. And now the main event of the evening, Armand, I have no idea how to say that nickname, Saryukin, against the gamer Matush Gamrot. And will be the first of multiple fights and both riding finishing streaks. Both streaks will end as this goes to a clear decision that won't go to the actual winner. Congrats to the loser on winning a split decision. All right, real talk though. We're going over some betting stuff, things like that. This card has a lot of wide lines, and by that I mean like there's a lot of big favorites last week, not a whole lot. But like first off, favorite bets. Like I don't know why Alain Badeau isn't like minus 300. He's better everywhere. I don't like at minus 125 at the moment of this recording. Doesn't make any sense to me. I know like everyone who knows what they're talking about is just hammering him. So this line's going to fall drastically. I mean, I like Parisian, but like he's not UFC caliber. Another thing I really like, TJ Brown by KO, kind of mentioned it in my stupid ass like 2-minute drill. Shylon isn't really great on his feet. He's more of a wrestler. TJ negates that as an also like pretty damn good wrestler. Put the 2 and 2 together. TJ Brown gonna knock him out. Or at the very least, he's gonna put a lot of damage on him. And when we get to the mid, the late second, and the third round, you're gonna really see the effects of the jab hitting Shylon's face. So I don't know, man. We'll see. But I think TJ's got some hands. I wouldn't be surprised if he knocks him out. And as I said at the very beginning of this, like there's a shitload of white spots, man. I mean, like there's a lot of big favorites. I think it is worth a shot of going at Nate Maness, purely off the fact that like he's a lot bigger of a dog this time around than Brian Kelleher was. Like I love Brian Kelleher, one of my favorite guys to talk to, like on the show, for instance. But I think Manus is a better fighter than Brian. He's younger. I think he's quicker, faster. And I don't think Umar is like. I think he's good, but he's not minus 600, like minus whatever he is against Nate Maness. It's kind of like the way I look at it is like this isn't Hamzat versus Burns, but in terms of like this line not making sense, is kind of like that. Where like Umar is a great prospect, like he should be the favorite, 100% should be a pretty big favorite, but like having Manus at plus 600 is kind of like, come on, dude. So I think that's worth a shot. Magny, I mean, like I don't think he's gonna win, but I think that's worth a stab too. It's a huge steep in competition for Shavkat. I do think he's the truth though. So, but I mean, I don't think it is worth the shot though. Magny, I do think though. However, I think Magny can grind it out, steal a couple rounds. He did get rocked though against Max Griffin, but Max Griffin isn't no one to beat around the bush for. He's also a tough dude, but I think he hits harder. But we'll see. It'll be a fun one. And I like a lot of other stuff too, though. But those are kind of the main ones I really like. I mean, check out the blog if you really want to see what my whole thoughts are on the entire thing. I don't want to take up too much time on this, but you can go read that. Everything I say is kind of how I feel about it. I'll put a little bit more in there. If you want to take the friend of the program parlay of Yagos, Kelleher, and TJ, it's like plus 940. If you want to take the super friend of the program parlay, which includes Holberg in there too, it's like plus 1100, some shit like that. It's like 50 to win 1100. Nuts. Big odds. But no, this will be a fun one. Let's go on and kick it over to Harrison and I as we wrap up the show with our medals for the week. So that was fun. Seems like you guys liked it last time, so we're gonna continue to do that. Obviously Harry wouldn't know how to do those, so it's just gonna be me doing those because again, he doesn't know the little ins and outs. Anyway, whatever. Let's move on to the medals. Let's go on to our gold, bronze, and silvers. I'll start with my bronze medal for the week. I got NBA offseason. Already off to a hot start. Unfortunately, though, the Celtics are involved in every single thing. I kind of sad. I kind of missed it when every single day would come out. The Boston Celtics are eyeing LeBron James. The Boston Celtics are eyeing Kevin Durant. Shit like that. It is what it is, but it's great to have the NBA offseason back because it's almost better than the season, especially the playoffs, because the playoffs are just blowout after blowout after blowout after blowout after blowout. So NBA offseason back in full swing.
Yep. Well, my bronze medal goes directly based off of that, and my bronze medal goes to trade rumors because we've already been seeing a hell of a lot of them in the brief offseason that we've had. I mean, we're seeing like KD to Philadelphia, shit like that. Kyrie to what, LA again? Just trying to get him out of Brooklyn. There's just so much shit going down already, and it might come to a head tonight. Well, we're gonna have to see what goes down tonight because there are gonna be some definite insane trades going down.
If Malcolm Brogdon is still a Pacer, I'm going to be depressed. That means the Pacers failed. They didn't make a trade.
Yes.
They're going to, though. They're going to move back up into the lottery, and they're going to pick some random-ass white dude. That's my prediction. They're going to make me really happy. They're going to pick Benedict Mathurin, or maybe somehow by the miracles of God, they get Jaden Ivey, and then they're going to draft some random-ass white dude, and then I'm going to get depressed again. So, yeah. But if you can't tell,
Sounds
Pacers,
about right for the Pacers.
Very accurate for the Pacers.
Yeah.
Ready to be disappointed. Moving on to our silver medal. My silver medal goes to Drake fans. His album sucks. Get over it. I don't know how many times I have to spin it. It's terrible. It's a terribly produced EDM album, if you even want to call it an EDM house music album. Washed up college DJ here / producer. Doesn't have time to do any of that anymore, but I can tell you, like, I can make shit that sounds pretty similar, and I suck. So let's
I swear,
yeah, it's not that good. Well, actually, I'll take that back. Massive, that drop is pretty good. The rest of it sucks. Get over it.
I saw a comparison side to side of what I forget which song it was off the album, but it was
the SpongeBob Patrick.
SpongeBob Patrick. Yeah, it sounded exactly like that. So when you make an album and it sounds like that, you know you fucked up in some way or capacity.
It's okay to miss. I hated the comparisons to Kendrick. Like, oh, someone experiments, you call it dog shit. It's because Drake is just pushing out bullshit that's just in right now, like house music is in right now. It's just like, oh, I'm just gonna make some house music because that's what's selling. Dude, no. What Kendrick did was Kendrick put out songs about how he admitted he had like father abuse issues, like how his like aunt and like cousins like were transgender, shit like that. Drake's talking still about fucking bitches and making EDM house music, going in the Marvin's room. Completely different.
And
completely different.
Don't forget that like Kendrick took what 6 years off to make sure this album was right or something like that.
A lot of TDE shit too.
True. Yeah. But like, I mean, you can't call anything that Kendrick compares like Kendrick drops compares to like whatever Drake drops. Like
No,
they're in two different leagues.
completely different artists. Drake
Yeah,
pushes a lot more like club banger, things like
popular.
that.
Yeah,
Like Kendrick is a lot more like insightful. You
you
listen to the
you
lyrics.
listen and you listen and you think.
I don't know, but Drake, I mean, girl, you a lesbian, me too. I mean, that's pretty deep.
Deep ass lyrics, man. Deep ass
That's
lyrics.
some deep bars. That's some deep bars. Harrison, you're still
Oh
there.
yeah. My silver medal goes to Nazem Kadri because, as we all know, he was taken out of the Edmonton Oilers series pretty brutally by Evander Kane, only for him to come back last night and score the game-winning goal in, I will say it, controversial fashion. There were 6 men on the ice when the puck was in the net, or when he made his play entering the zone. So should have been called back for offsides, maybe, but since nobody really realized the puck went into the net until like 30 seconds later, I think that the confusion just really solidified the goal as is. And yeah, Nazem Kadri, just that's how you make a return to hockey. You get out there, you bust your ass, and you score the game winning, potentially putting it the series out of reach because now it's 3-1 Colorado. So
I'm not gonna count out
Nazem
the Lightning.
Kadri.
I'm not gonna count out the Lightning.
I mean, you can never really count out the
No,
Lightning.
no, I can't
That's the
count the
thing,
Lightning.
but.
No. I'm still riding the Lightning. Lightning in 7. Can't do 6 more.
Lightning in
Lightning in
7.
7. Lightning in 7. All right, moving on to my gold medal goes to Michael Jordan, the GOAT, one of the GOATs.
Ooh,
A
yeah.
couple days ago, these kids came out. They were trying to get LaMelo Ball's autograph. They see Michael Jordan, and they're like, "Yo, where's LaMelo at?" And like, "Holy shit, it's Michael Jordan! Like, can we get a picture?" He's like, "Hell nah." So MJ
Fuck them kids.
really living up to the hype of being the guy who says "fuck them kids." Shout out Michael
Yeah.
Jordan for really being one of my goats. LeBron would have took a picture, but that's why Jordan won 6 rings and LeBron only won 4. I
LeBron's
guess
only, yeah.
LeBron cares about the
That,
kids. Michael says "fuck them kids." So shout out Michael Jordan. You get my gold medal
that
this week.
killer mentality.
Yep.
Like,
Killer be killed. If he was in the 1200s raiding a village, he would have murdered the women and children. LeBron would have let them be free. But Michael Jordan, he's all about winning.
yep.
And if that means conquering a country and killing their women and children, he would kill their women and children.
He practices total war.
Yeah.
No survivors.
War
No
mentality.
survivors.
War mentality. He would have murdered. He would not have
Yes.
hesitated. He would have pulled the trigger. All right, Harrison, before I say some really dumb shit, move on to your gold medal.
All right, my gold medal, it's NBA draft night, so that means one thing and one thing only. Tragic backstories.
Oh,
I mean, it's going to be gold. It's going to be, I can already feel it.
yes.
You have a dead grandma, a dead mother, house burned down, your dog died. Hell, you fucking stubbed your toe on the way to the stage. ESPN is going to put down an hour video about how bad that sucked for you. Or, that's an over exaggeration, but like, tragic backstories. We're going to get them.
ESPN, special, real special.
They love them.
They love them. All right, so that's what we got for the show. Next week, got some friends of the program hopping back on. A couple people, just shit didn't work out, but we got some more guests next week, and we'll be back to normal. We're recording this before I even know who the guest is going to be, just because we had someone back out last minute. Long story short, we're supposed to have Brent Primus on the show, who's going to be fighting in Bellator tonight. He had some like flight issues, and then he got behind on his weight cut, so we couldn't have him on. It kind of put me in a little bit of a scramble. So we're just kind of pushing stuff up. I had to reach out to people to move stuff up. Fun. There's the game of being a podcaster. When you're on like tight deadlines, it can get hectic if someone you are expecting to be good with pulls out. But that's just the name of the game. So that's what we got for the show. We'll see you guys next week. Billy Quarantillo, Ricky Smell, and a bunch of other guys. So see you guys next week. Peace. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around with me all the way to the end. I just want to once again thank the sponsor of the show, Living.Fit. If you're looking to better yourself, make sure you go to download the app or visit the website Living.Fit today.